Fast decisions in an organization can be the difference between everybody making a lot of money or all of the stakeholders going home crying in an absolute mess every quarter. But fast decisions, they're not just about form, they're also about function. And somewhere along the way, and I reckon this has happened in the past 10 to 15 years, is we've turned thoughtfulness into an excuse for indecision. Now, these days, fast decisions, they feel risky. Slow ones, they feel responsible. And that's because somewhere along the way, we confused delay with diligence. And it's costing us a mozza. Big companies waste around 530,000 hours a year aligning decisions. 530,000 hours a year. Compare that to high growth companies who are growing at 2.5 times faster, and they do it because they're able to make decisions fast. But this is not necessarily something that we've got wrong. This is just how we operate. Our brains are set up to work this way. Our brains delay action so that we can simulate outcomes. And this is really useful for us to find the best way forward, and it's served us really well throughout evolution. But now it's stopping us from moving forward. And what we really need is we need more speed in these decisions. But speed builds with trust. And so companies don't move fast, not because they don't want to, but because they can't move fast. They don't have the trust, the infrastructure there to allow these decisions to move at the speed they need to. And so rather than stay competitive, they wait. And they do nothing. And we say things like, we'll circle back on this month. And then we kind of forget about it a little bit. And then when we come back to it, the opportunity is gone. So the real question isn't why are we so slow? It's what becomes possible when we stop waiting and actually start taking the opportunities that are in front of us. What we're really trying to do is reframe what we're actually solving for here. We're not solving for fast decisions. We're solving for missed opportunities. And this is a feeling that is probably familiar to you. Whenever it comes time for a big decision to be made, it feels like everything slows down. And it's not because of doubt, and it's not even because we don't know what to do. It's because we've been conditioned to see speed as risky. And so in that pause, opportunity slips by just completely unnoticed. We don't talk about it. We don't talk about the loss because we never really were in the game. And so the problem isn't speed, it's the opportunity cost. Every delay doesn't just eat time, it eats value. And when decisions stall, we lose a lot more than time. We lose optionality. And in complex systems like our organizations, that optionality, that's where resilience lives. That's where success lives. That's where adaptability lives. And a lot of the time, we'll use an excuse like we don't have enough information, or let's wait to see what so-and-so does, or the market this, and it's an excuse. We always say we want more information and more data, but we don't. In high-speed environments, it's not data that counts, it's bandwidth. It's the capacity to keep moving forward without overthinking, without clogging up the system. And we have the tools right now to do that. We're just not conditioned to use them. We personally have the tools to do that right in our brain. Our ventromedial prefrontal cortex, right up here, it helps us to decide quickly and precisely, and it has for thousands and thousands of years. It's literally what's kept us alive. So we've lost this skill to keep moving forward. And what are we missing every time we don't move? Remember, speed is not the goal here. Capturing opportunity is the goal. And when we start to look at that gap between what we're doing and what's possible, it brings up some really big questions. And it makes us think, well, what's really holding us back here? We are built to move faster. Our brains thrive on quick decisions. We love new things. Everything that we've got, our tools, our technology, ourselves, it's primed. It's just our systems, they've been trained to hit the pause button. So this isn't about capability. This is structural lag. And what we are able to do is not what we are allowed to do. We're working with live signals in a very rigid, static structure. The data's live, the text there, the flow, it's stuck somewhere in there. Now, there's a lot of evidence to support this. 4 out of 5 executives say that they have access to real-time data that will help them make decisions. But when it comes time to actually make that decision, 1 in 5 actually use the data to help them make the decision. This isn't inefficiency, it's latency by design. It's us working against the way that we're designed to operate and to function. Most of the time, we don't need and we don't use the information we have. It's just a delay tactic. It's something blocked by the need for approvals and for quadruple checking and making sure we're all aligned and moving in the same direction. In the last, I would say, decade, the last decade, getting approval for everyday decisions within an organisation, it's gotten slower. It's gotten slower by about a third, around about 30%. Now, that's a really, really silly statistic, especially when you consider the fact that the time we've been given to make those decisions has shrunk by 40%. So we've got almost half the time that we needed to make a decision, but it's taking us 30% longer than it originally did. It doesn't work. The maths doesn't math. What it does say, though, is we know that we can go faster. We just don't. We're getting faster at noticing what's happening, but we're slower at doing something about it. It's not working. It's not balanced. The brain is outpacing the org chart. The brain is wired for speed. The org chart is not. It's not a tooling problem. It's a permission problem. We've got everything we need except the freedom to actually move. So what happens when we stop waiting? What happens when we stop chasing the future? Now we actually start to shape it. And now we end up in this world where fast isn't risky, fast is familiar. And if we want to stop treating fast as fragile, then fast decisions need to become the norm. And not from panic, but from precision. Because if we do that, it changes everything. Clarity is a constant now. We don't see speed as a risk. It's just how things move. The system, it doesn't brace for change. It doesn't brace for impact. It expects it. So it's not rigid. Instead, it moves rhythmically. Decision making, it's not a pause point anymore. It's embedded in the very rhythm of the way that we work. And when ambiguity drops, that means that decision making, it accelerates. There's no bottlenecks. There's just clarity. And so in this world, organizations, they don't focus on making decisions. They become decision-making systems. From finance to operations, every function is working within this shared cognitive infrastructure. And so speed becomes oxygen. It's not this siloed advantage that only a few really well-oiled teams are able to do. We take that bandwidth and we stabilize it across the organization. That means that decision fatigue, gone. Change fatigue, gone. Work becomes momentum. It's not a maze. It's the thing that pushes us forward, not something complex that we need to get through every day. Imagine this on a global scale. Imagine we've got political agreements that we're trying to put in, trade agreements. These agreements are now happening in days, not decades. right? If we take this out from just an organization and we apply it on a global level, this means that speed fosters collaboration, not chaos. And any delays, they become a liability to the greater human race. So that means that we start to see these global agreements take shape in days, not years, not months. This isn't just fast, it's confident. It's not ego-bound, it's streamlined from coherence. And then we would have these systems that think well, they move smoothly, and they let people operate with clarity. Because at some point, resistance isn't about limitations. It becomes about the stories that we tell ourselves and the egos that are shaping the narrative that's being told. We've got the tools, we've got the data, we've got the models, but we're still stuck in the narrative that speed is risky and clarity needs time. The shift, it's not coming. It's already here. Decision speed isn't a future goal. It's what top-tier organizations are doing right now. Top-tier companies are moving capital 6 times faster than the rest. Top-tier teams resolve issues 45% more efficiently than the rest. The capability already exists. It's not the tech holding us back or the ability, it's the hesitation to trust it. AI and neuroadaptive systems, they're already operating at scale. Nobody's waiting for you to catch up. Everybody else is just moving forward. The constraint here is not in the system. We're not waiting for the systems. This is about the story that we've inherited. We're waiting for permission to move. This isn't disruption. This is real human rhythm being restored to an environment that tried to block it out. It's not disruption, it's harmony, it's natural, it's normal. And we start to shift from faster to smarter. And this shift changes everything. Because remember, this is not about moving faster. It's never about moving faster. That's just the thing before the thing. This is about possibility capture. This is about optionality. It's the ability to seize what others hesitate on. And that is the biggest available competitive advantage that we've got. And it's the biggest missed opportunity as well. You're not optimizing. We're not talking about optimizing anymore. We're talking about upgrading. So the real question is not how do we get faster, but what are we losing when we don't move? Hesitation costs more than time. Innovation leverage shrinks by 65% with delay. Trust erodes a lot faster than you can rebuild it. So this is an urgency. This is about being in sync. This is about sensing what matters and moving when it does. It's about resonating, not reacting.